Dear students, now I am going to discuss about biomagnification in environmental toxicology. What is biomagnification? Biological magnification. What are the causes of biomagnification? Biomagnification is the process of living organisms to accumulate certain chemicals to a concentration larger than that present in the surrounding environment. It is a process of accumulating some toxic chemicals in the body. How it is get accumulated and why it has not get excreted out, and all this we are going to study in later. Bioamplification or biomagnification is the increasing concentration of a toxic chemical in the tissues of organisms at successive higher levels in food chain. So it is the process where the concentration of a toxic materials in the tissues of the organisms, because there is no way to excrete out, so it get accumulated. So this is how exactly the as it reaches the in the food chain higher trophic levels, the concentration increases. This is what you can see, biomagnification. Animals occupying the higher trophic levels, they are mainly the secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, or secondary carnivore, tertiary carnivore. All these, they are occupying the higher trophic levels in the food chain. They feed on the organisms of the lower trophic levels, such as producers, or else they are consuming on the primary consumers. So they are the lower trophic levels. So the accumulated toxins in the lower trophic levels, such as pesticides like DDT, polychlorinated biphenyls, that is the PCB. This is a very important chemical, organic chemical, that is used in varieties of industrial and commercial purposes. Then heavy metals such as mercury, arsenic, lead, cadmium, etc. All these are get accumulated in the higher organisms and causing biomagnification. See here in this cartoon, you will able to see the concentration of PCB. It's a very important pollutant that is released from the industries, several industries, polychlorinated biphenyls or PCB. So that is in the water, that is the pollutant contaminated in the water bodies. It is the water with that get accumulated in the phytoplanktons. It is about 0.0125 ppm, and the phytoplanktons in the food chain, they are eaten by the zooplanktons. When it is zooplanktons, it gets further, the accumulation. It is a 0.1 ppm. So these zooplanktons are eaten by in the food chain, the smaller fishes. You can see these small fishes, their accumulation, it is more than 1 ppm. When smaller fishes eaten by the larger fishes, so when it is come to the larger fishes, it will be 4 to 5 ppm, because anywhere these toxic materials cannot be excreted out. It is insoluble in water, that's why it cannot be excreted out. Whatever the materials soluble in water will be easily excreted out from the body when it is not required, but this toxic materials, they are not insoluble in water, so there is no way to excrete out from the body of the animals, so they get accumulated. As you go up in the trophic levels, the concentration increases. This is what bioaccumulation. So or else bioamplification or biomagnification. So when it is come to the higher trophic levels in the herrings, eagles and all, in herrings eggs for example, their amount will be about 120 ppm. So this is one study shows, but Same thing with respect to the other toxic elements, non-biodegradable toxic elements, because they are non-biodegradable, they cannot be broken down even in the in the ecosystem, and also they cannot be metabolized in the body of the animals. That's why they keep on accumulating, causing bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation leading to biomagnification. Bioaccumulation is the building up of chemicals in aquatic animals through the food chain. So this occurs through the food chain. You have studied food chain, food web and all. Chemicals like PCB we have seen already, DDT, then dioxins, then the dieldrin, mercury. All these build up in the bodies of the fishes. The extent of bioaccumulation of chemicals determines the toxic effects which are manifested. If it is the toxic effects will be appear, they will be the toxic effect will be established as per the concentration. It depends on the concentration. This is in the food chain how the mercury concentration increases. This is in the water. So it is in the water, it may be like it is some 20 nanogram per liter. Then it is increases the level in the algae, the phytoplanktons, then zooplanktons, algae eaten by the insect larvae. Then you can see the water insects, insect eating insect. So these then water bugs, then it is in the small fish, in the large fish. Then when it is come to the human, then the fish is having heavy amount of these mercury in the muscles, that may be the causing methyl mercury poison, because it's in the form of methyl mercury, organic mercury. So that is going to cause neurodegenerative disorders in the human. And you should see there is a disease called Minamata disease. That is first time the mercury poison story in the Japan. There is a lake in the Japan called Minamata Lake that happened. You should you might have studied that story. So then bioconcentration is the intake of and retention of a substance in the organisms entirely by respiration from the water in aquatic medium or ecosystem, from air in terrestrial. So this is the how the bioconcentration of a toxic materials occur in the body of the animals. It is either through the respiration from the it is particles in the air, or else the microplastics, all this get accumulated. So or else it is through the water. This is how the mercury concentration, what you see in this cartoon. So biomagnification occurs when the fatty tissues of animals accumulates residues of heavy metals or organic compounds. These are passed up in the food chain through fish or shellfish. Shellfish means mainly the crustaceans, arthropods, that is prawns, crabs, all these are shellfishes. Then the shrimps, then molluscan, they are all generally called shellfish. From the shellfish it is going to the finfish, then from the finfish to the birds, and reach higher harmful concentration at higher trophic levels. So the predators like eagles, dolphins, polar bear, even human being eating on such the highly concentrated toxins that is present in the larger fishes, it is going to cause the toxin effects start appearing. So here you will see the arthropod or the krills, then the concentration, it is any contaminant, it is showed in this cartoon. Then it is in the seal, higher concentration. When it is come to the polar bear is eating on the seal, then the seal is eating on the fish, small fishes are eating on these krills or the arthropod, and see the concentration level that is showed in this picture. So the agricultural pesticides, how the pesticides are sprayed on the vegetables gardens and fruit orchards and agricultural fields. Pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers, fungicides, weedicides, herbicides, all these are toxic and are released into the soil, rivers, lakes and seas. They have already contaminated. These substances contain small amount of heavy metals. All these pesticides also, they contain small amount of heavy metals, mercury, arsenic, copper, lead, cadmium, all these, So this is in a study around before the industrial revolution, the amount of these such heavy metals, it may be like 2 nanogram per liter of marine water. Now its level, it is such an alarming rate, it is about 30 to 40 nanograms per liter. So already it is any heavy metals or pesticide, they are non biodegradable and they remain in the ecosystem for many years. Last 200 years, our activities, human activities, it has polluted in such a manner. It is already lot of these residues there in the all ecosystem. The industries, factories releases toxic substances that are released into the soil, lakes, oceans and rivers. The gaseous emissions pollute the environment, which enters the food chain, leading to biomagnification. So all these are the how the biomagnification occurs, what are the causes for this. Even the mining activities, they release metal like zinc, aluminum, cobalt, silver, all these the heavy metals are released and they get washed off. They are unearthing, digging all this, and you can see they get washed off along with the the rainwater, and they pollute the water bodies, and they said they become the part of the sediments. This is how the causes of biomagnification. Biomagnification occurs due to the accumulation of non-biodegradable, because they may remain in the soil or in the water in the sediments for many years, hundreds of years, because they are non-biodegradable. There is no enzymatic system to degrade such the toxic elements such as heavy metals, pesticides like DDT. They are non-biodegradable. Chlorinated hydrocarbons like DDT, dieldrin, eldrin, all this. Polychlorinated biphenyls, PCB, which are insoluble in water. That's the main reason they cannot be degraded or decomposed, and are highly soluble in fats. And organic solvents. So that's why they get accumulated in the fatty tissues of the animals because of that, because they are soluble in fats. So they get accumulate in the organisms. So this is a ectotoxicological problem. This problem is now started is the environmental toxicological problems or ectotoxicological problems for higher order predators. They are secondary or tertiary consumers in ecological food webs who ingest this toxic prey. Trace elements in the environment such as selenium, mercury, nickel, all these organic derivatives such as methyl mercury are externally insoluble in water but are freely soluble in organic solvents, animal fats and also in the plant oils. This is how they get accumulated in the organisms. Even though they dissolve in the fat, they cannot be dissolved in the water, so they cannot be excreted out. They get accumulated in fatty tissues. Toxic chemicals and pollutants accumulate in lower organisms in the food chain such as fish, earthworms, where the substance cannot be broken down or excreted due to water insolubility. Toxic substances concentration increases progressively as it moves up in the food chain. These pollutants that dissolve in fats will be retained for long time. It will be measured in fatty tissues of animals such as fishes, birds, and this is what I showed that some cartoons where they have assessed the concentration of these chemicals, toxic elements in the tissues. So what are the effects of biomagnification? First and foremost, what are the effect of biomagnification on human? So non-biodegradable substances like organophosphates. So all these pesticides what we are using, parathion, malathion, all these organochlorides, even though DDT is banned, so many countries are using, and also DDT is non-biodegradable, it is already there in our ecosystem. Then carbamate pesticides and heavy metals get accumulated in fatty tissues of animals at higher trophic levels. When man consumes such fishes or birds, man going to suffer from neuromuscular disorders and cancer. This is where in a study they showed the heavy metals. So how they are, they bring epigenetic mRNA dysregulation that is leading to the neuronal disorders or neurodegenerative disorders. They also the carcinogenesis, the carcinogen, the in the previous video we have discussed about all those. So it is leading to carcinogenesis. So it is biomagnification makes humans more prone to cancer. Now the cancer incidents are increasing because of this. We are in our food, in our air, in our water, lot of these materials, non-biodegradable materials are entering our body, leading to kidney problems, liver failures, birth defects, congenital defects, respiratory disorders, heart diseases, all this. In this cartoon, in a study they have showed, the glyphosate, it is a very popular herbicides everywhere. It's not studied much about in this study this is a enzyme disruptor, have a disruptive effects on sexual development and reproductive functioning of, and also on the genes. It may bring congenital defects, and it is also affecting our gut microbiome, that is useful bacteria that those are synthesizing vitamins and beneficial compounds and keeping our our health, that is now affected by these such chemicals like glyphosate. It is the common the commercial name is called Roundup. So it is the Roundup spraying, it is and fertilizers which contains so many heavy metals like arsenic, cadmium, all this. You can see glyphosate, all these get accumulated in the water body, and you can see it is in the soil, and it is entering the the human body and creating the kidney problem and neurodegenerative disorders, oxidative stress, and you can see it is creating hepatic stress, and you can see the kidney problems, all this you will see. This is what you will it is a cartoon from a study what I have showed. So then these chemicals and toxins which are released into the water bodies disrupt the food chain. The small organisms absorb the toxin which are eaten up by the larger animals. Magnitude of these pollutants like DDT goes on increasing in the higher trophic level. This is showed here in a study. So the amount this is what you can see, the concentration of DDT residues in parts per million ppm. So what is the concentration in the water? See this. Then it is get accumulated in the plankton, that is phytoplanktons and zooplanktons, that is eaten by the minnow fish, silver side minnow fish, sheep's head minnow fish. Then it is eaten by the larger fish. When it is it is almost 1 ppm in their body. Then it is by the needlefish. So that is it is 1.2 ppm. Then it is eaten by the birds, the herons, the terns, herrings and gulls, all there you can see they keep on accumulating their DDT level. See that it is reaching about 13 ppm in the osprey, that is a carnivore bird's eggs, that is. Then you can see the cormorant, the fish eater, the further it is the level goes up. So this is how the DDT residue keep on increasing in higher trophic levels. so causing it's it is when it is in this level, it is definitely affecting the birds, their reproductive efficiencies, and they bring cancers and other problems in these higher level the carnivores. So, what are the controlling measures? These toxic substances such as lead, arsenic, mercury, even now there is a plastic, it is also non-biodegradable, it is keep on accumulating the microplastics and causing lot of problems. So all these, the plastic, we have to ban plastic, all these things, that. And so all these, mainly they are used in so many industries, petroleum products and other industries. They have to find out the alternative method and not to release this into the industries, in the ecosystems. Industries such as coal plants, and they have to rely on various heavy metals. They have to come up with the innovative strategies. These are students, your job, you have to find out alternative strategies to eliminate such emissions, and they are making the polluting the environment. Areas that have already exposed, they have to be identified properly, and the further they are polluting the water body, that has to be stopped now. So this is what, then the health sectors such as dental, the department, they are using so many mercury containing items and dental materials. They have to now, they have to they are polluting, their dental waste are polluting the environment, and it is adding these materials. They have to find out secure alternatives such as woodworks, paint industries and all. They should find eco-friendly alternatives. Plumbing materials, they should avoid PVC, so that the lead is not now dumped into the environment. Then plastic, in marine plastic garbage, they have to, the countries now, they have joined up to clean up this marine plastic garbage cleaning. So we have to join such programs, and we have to control the biomagnifications of all this. Dear students, so we don't have any pesticide detector, so that's why how to avoid our, we can't avoid these toxic materials get into our system, but what we can do best, wash fruits and vegetables what you eat with 2% salt water, will remove most of the pesticide residues present on the surface of the vegetables and fruits. 80% of pesticide residues are removed by cold water washing, by like this. Stay healthy and practice a healthy way of living. Thank you.